Yeah, hi everyone. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening. Can please everyone switch on your cameras? Please come on the video.
Hi, Rajshekar. Hi, Sharad.
Hi Sarada. Hi Rashikar. Guys, can you do it quickly? Can everyone please switch on your cameras? think-
We are expecting this session to be more interactive.
I think Vaishnavi switched on his camera, but I think he need to remove that button will be there at the top.
Might be the camera is closed.
Maybe his camera is closed also.
So just for 5-10 minutes later, if it is a bandwidth issue, like you can turn off your videos.
Shut up. We can start in another 2-3 minutes.
Rashikar, voice is people.
Okay. Now?
Now better. Bit.
Yeah.
So just we will start the recap of the last session, okay? Let's join. Meanwhile, we'll start the recap, okay? So good evening, everyone. So welcome to the session. Today we are covering the introduction part of the cloud computing. Okay. So before going to the introduction part, so let's discuss what are all the topics which we have covered in the last class. So can anyone tell me what are all the topics we have covered in the last session? Just you give me the topics name. Anyone?
So we have spoke about server.
Hmm?
What is the basic need of server?
Good. Server, yes, correctly. So we discussed about the server. Then
Then we have seen some examples of servers, how cloud compute works.
yeah.
Like
So
we have talked about the Swiggy, Zomato, how they do.
Of
mhm,
cloud services,
mhm.
advantages of cloud computing.
Good. Then
Features of cloud computing. We have seen the
okay.
many features and services provided by them.
Good.
And traditional data center.
Excellent. Yes, we discussed about the traditional data center. Then so can anyone tell me like what is a traditional data center? What are the advantages or what are the major, disadvantages of traditional data center? Yes, it may be right or wrong. So we want you all to be speak out. Okay. We are here to correct you, right? So it may be right or wrong. We are expecting an answer from you. Anyone? What is a traditional data center or what are all the disadvantages or major drawbacks of the traditional data center? I'm gonna
Trad-
call your names. See, you
Traditional
have
data
to.
center are
Yeah.
expensive and all.
Sorry.
Traditional data centers are expensive.
Okay.
Good.
Then
We
And
have to pay
uh,
for rent and cooling and maintenance for the
yes,
data center.
maintenance. Good, good.
And if we making our own data center, then we have to take care of all the things like maintenance and hard
Initial
drive.
capital cost.
Yes, all. So it's very
Mhm.
expensive
Mhm.
compared to cloud.
Good.
It has limited capacities and all.
Exactly.
The scaling is limited, and we have to hire a team of 24/7 monitoring. We have to hire a team for 24/7 monitoring.
Excellent. Excellent. Then so good job, guys. Good job. Okay. So like you have understood, whatever we have covered the topics, you have understood. We are very happy. We really appreciate your, efforts in that. Okay. So now let's move on to the next topics. Okay. So in the last class, we discussed about what is the traditional data center. Okay. In traditional data center, what is server? What is server is composed of. Okay. So what exactly the definition of server? Then what are all the advantages, drawbacks of the traditional data center? So why we have to go for the cloud? Can anyone define cloud in your own words? What do you mean by cloud? Just try on your own words. Okay. So I'll ask a basic question. So tell me, what do you mean by computer? What is a computer? What it consists of? Computer is a machine, isn't it? Computer is a machine. Okay. What it will do? It will perform a series of operations. What are the operations? The inputs which are given from the user. So the operations. Okay. Sharad, the screen is changed now. Can you go back to the PPTs, or can I share my screen? Okay, I'm sharing my screen just to use you know, paint here just to give a brief idea for them. Okay, so this is the computer. Okay, let me know, is it visible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So what computer consists of? A CPU, a memory, and then IO devices, right? So this is a computer. It's a machine. What it will do? Will give a operations or the programs. So it automatically performs a series of operation, or it may be a program, and executes that particular program within a short time, right? So this is the computer. Now coming for the computer system, what is the computer system? It consists of a hardware, software, and then operating system. Can anyone tell me what do you mean by hardware or hardware devices?
Mouse,
What are the hardware
keyboard,
devices?
Mouse,
speakers, and all.
keyboard,
CPU,
speaker,
mouse,
monitor.
keyboard,
Yeah,
screen,
monitor. Yes,
monitor.
We
monitor,
can touch physically.
CPU. Yeah. Can you give me one example for an input device and output device?
Monitor and keyboard.
Okay, monitor and keyboard are the input devices. Can you give me example of output device?
Ma'am,
Printer.
screen,
Printer.
Yeah,
Printer.
exactly. Printers,
Web camera.
scanners. Yeah.
Camera,
speakers.
web cameras.
Web cameras, exactly.
Yes.
So this is, computer. So now this is a traditional computer, or we have, if you consider these hardware devices, you have given good examples, right? So coming for the software, what do you mean by a software?
Program,
Yeah, program,
Mainly
good.
Windows.
Windows,
Program.
it's an operating system, good.
applications,
Applications, exactly.
We cannot touch, only program it.
Yeah, so these are not the materialistic, means these are not the devices, okay? So these which are installed or which the computer can perform, okay? Or programs, protocols, okay? So these are the example of, or you can call it as a software or a firmware. So similarly, operating system. To run a computer, the operating system is required. So can you tell me some of the operating systems?
Oh, Windows, Linux,
Windows,
Linux, Ubuntu,
Linux,
Mac OS.
Mac
Mac
OS.
OS,
Mac OS.
Excellent.
Ubuntu,
Yes.
Ubuntu.
Excellent. Ubuntu is a type of Linux. Good. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is a general idea. So you know about the computer, you know about the computing devices, and you know about the computer system. Then what is cloud? What is cloud computing? The cloud computing is nothing but delivering these compute resources. It may be CPU, it may be storage, it may be a software, or it may be an operating system. So delivering these compute resources over internet. Understood? This is called your cloud computing. So can anyone tell me what are all the cloud providers? We have told this in the last class.
AWS, Amazon AWS,
Very good.
Azure, and
Microsoft Azure.
IBM,
IBM, good.
Google Cloud.
Google Cloud, excellent. So these
Oracle.
are the cloud providers. So now you got a point. What is computer and what is computer system and what is cloud computing? So these compute resources are delivered over internet. So that is called your cloud computing. Let me go back to our PPTs. So these are the topics like what is cloud computing. As I told you, cloud computing is on-demand delivery of compute power database. The computing resources are nothing but your storage or your database or your application. So these are called the IT resources. So we are providing or we are delivering these system over internet. And here you're going to pay these as you're going to use it. I mean, pay as you use or pay as you go model. So this is means you're no need to give any capital investment. I mean, this is called upfront cost. It is called upfront cost and you're not giving any cost. Whatever you're using it, you're going to pay for that. Okay. So this is the main, the advantage of your cloud computing. So based on the user requirement, you can rent a storage, you can rent a database, you can use your application, only how much you will use it. Okay. As I told you, the examples are like the cloud providers are AWS, that is Amazon Web Services. Then Microsoft provides Azure. Okay. Then Google provides GCP, that is Google Cloud Provider. So these are the cloud providers. Okay. So now once you know about the cloud computing, so we have a different deployment models in the cloud that is called private, public and hybrid. Okay, can anyone tell me what is the difference or what is the term called public or what is the term called private?
Public, which is available for all.
Exactly. And private?
Within the organization
Only
and within
accessible
the
to some
team.
members.
Exactly. So your understanding is correct. Here also in the cloud, we can relate this. What do you mean by private? Private is belong or an application belongs to an organization. Only one organization is using that particular application. Okay. So that is called private. So the others or the public will not be allowed or public will not be having access to these private cloud. So similarly, public cloud. So public cloud is nothing but, so it's accessible to everyone. Okay. So with some like we will put some policies, we will put some security guidelines. So based on that, everyone is able to access the cloud. That is called public cloud. Everyone will be having access to the public cloud. As I told, for this public cloud, the examples are Azure, GCP and AWS. So coming for the hybrid. So what do you mean by hybrid? Anyone?
Ma'am,
They can be used by both.
It is a mix of
some
both
of the
private and public.
services can be accessed.
This is accessible. Okay.
Yeah, go one by one.
And where some in hybrid, some services can be accessed by all of the members and some are private.
Yeah, so it is the combination of your private and public. So
Public.
wherever some particular applications are restricted, so that can be accessible privately. Wherever some applications are exposed to the internet or exposed to the public, so those can be accessible by everyone with some security guidelines. So these are called private, public, and hybrid. So private is nothing but individual organization is responsible for that and they are using it. Public is the everyone can be able to access the application or the resources which provided by the cloud. It may be a compute, storage, internet. So those will be accessible by everyone. In the hybrid model, so this is like, combination of both. For some application, it will be exposed to the internet or the application will be exposed to everyone, and some are with the security feature. It will be allowed only for the organization. So the example for this is AWS and VMware. So they will provide this only to the organization, and organization will decide which application should be used privately and which one to be publicly. Okay. So to understand this concept, I'm giving one example. You can see this example. So these are the deployment models. As I said, the public cloud, private cloud, and hybrid cloud. So now the example for a public cloud is a bus. Okay, now I'm traveling from Bangalore to Mumbai. Okay, for that I'm using a facility called bus, or you can relate this to a train. So what here, this will be accessible to everyone, that is known. The other thing is you're paying only the amount, the traveling amount, which is from Bangalore to Mumbai. Okay, so now here it is not only the individual person, there are some people, so those are availing to the same particular transportation. It also depends on, like, there will be a scheduled time. You have to go to that particular duration. You have to pay how much time you're using it, right? So similarly, coming for the private cloud. So private cloud, I'm giving an example of a car. Here the car is the owner of the car. So he has to pay in front. I mean, upfrontly he has to purchase a car, right? He has to pay a huge amount to purchase the car, and is the owner. So now similarly, the private cloud is belong to an organization and is the owner of that. So whenever he wants, he can travel from Bangalore to Mumbai. There is no scheduled time, right? So here, and there will be a comfort. Comparatively, a public, so he is having his own comfort. So coming for the hybrid cloud, so this I'm giving an example of a taxi. No need to give any upfront charges, right? You're not purchasing a car, but you are getting a comfortable of the car. So what it means, you're going to rent a private car or a taxi, and you're giving amount how much of a time you're utilizing it, right? So this is what I'm trying to explain, what is a private, what is a public, and what is a hybrid model of the cloud. Any question around here?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Understood, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir. I
Yeah,
would
so
like to
now we
Yes.
have in the cloud computing, or if I consider computing, we have a three models. One is a private cloud, where the organization is responsible for that. Public cloud, so it will be accessible for everyone. And hybrid, it is a combination of public and private. The organization is having its own data center, and also it can go for the hybrid model by combining with any cloud providers such as AWS, Azure, and GCP. So I'm going to explain in detail. So coming for the private cloud. So it's an infrastructure, it's a cloud infrastructure, and it will be operated only for the particular organization. Okay. And it can be managed by a third party. Even though if it is belong to an organization, the third party also can manage it. Means here the security is a very important concern. So for example, if I consider an application, it's a password protected. Okay, so now what happens? These are very secured ones. For example, if I consider some banking applications or some money related applications, in such cases, the security plays very important role. Even sometimes a policy which are belong to a single organization, where the security plays very important role. Even they don't want to share this to anyone, or they don't want to leak this particular secrets to the with the others or with other organization. In such cases, where the organization will go for the private cloud. Even though if it is a private, it will go for the third party. The third party will be responsible for this. So the example of third party, or it may be Amazon or it may be a VMware. So those will a third party, and they will run this particular application or the business to the organization. So next one is a public cloud. The public cloud is here, it is a combination of a single organization, its organization decision. So either they can go for private, privately, or even they can segregate the application. Some are like they want to run it, private, and some are exposed to the public. Okay. So here, in this case, these will be, we know that these cloud applications will be accessible over internet. And here again, this is also a third party will be providing these services. Those services are from Azure or AWS or even from the IBM. Even Oracle Cloud is also there. So here, based on the organization's needs and their guidelines, or we can call it as a privacy, or we can call it as a security. So based on that, some are which are, very private. So those they can run in the private cloud. So where they are like wanted to use with the third party vendor. So in such cases, they can share some application to with the public cloud. So the main advantage here is whenever they wanted to extend using the public cloud, they can extend their cloud infrastructure. And whenever there is a requirement, less requirement, at that time, they can also decrease or they can also limit the resources from the cloud. This is the advantage of public cloud. So coming for the hybrid cloud. So hybrid cloud is a combination of these two. Okay, public and as well as private. So even in case of in the case of public cloud, here, sorry, I explained here what happens is everything is manageable by the third party. That is, it may be Azure or it may be AWS or it may be Oracle. So here, the main advantage, as I said, the cost and self-service model is also an important thing. Self-service means, what do you mean by self-service? If you go to any hotels, there will be a board called self-service. So what do you mean by self-service?
Managing all the things by own.
Okay, okay. So your self-service, if I consider a hotel, so there will be no waiter. You have to go to you have to see the menu, whatever you want, you go and order it. So similarly in the public cloud, so there will be a console. So based on the requirement, how many CPUs you require, what is the storage capacity. So based on your requirement, you're going to use the console, and based on your requirement, you're deploying your resources. Okay, so that is called a public. So in the hybrid model, some are restricted or the security concerns, so that will be private, and some will be the public. It's a combination of both. So you can say take many examples, some government departments or some general public applications. The best example is you can use Gmail, right? So then it's accessible to everyone, and there will be like storage, that limited storage will be given to you, and you're going to based on your requirement, it will be scaled up and scaled down. So hybrid cloud is a combination of public and as well as private cloud. So any questions around the models?
No, ma'am.
Any questions around here?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so now the next, the
Do you know-
characteristics.
Yeah, just to share one question from my side. Like, do you know why people use the hybrid cloud? Like, what is the purpose of using hybrid cloud? Like, students, can anyone tell? Like, anyway, public cloud we are able to get it actually, but in a hybrid model, it is a combination of your own data centers and a public cloud. Like, why? Like, can anyone tell this? Okay, so if you answer this question, then you have understood this hybrid cloud model and all.
So there can be need that some data we need to keep private, or some data we need to want to can accessible by everyone. So like this, we can go for hybrid cloud.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. Actually, like that's what like private means. It is your sensitive data. Okay, if you consider banking sector. Okay, so the bank in the banking sector, like there are financial details will be there. Okay, so those financial details you don't need to put in public cloud. So public cloud means it is accessible for everyone. Accessible every means there is a security will be there, but the concept of cloud is a shared tenant, something like that. Okay, so the resources will be shared across the or everyone. So that you don't want to take the risk. So you want to put them in on your own private data centers. So that's why they will keep the data whatever the data important data in their own data centers. So whatever the data which are not sensitive, so that they are going to use the in the public cloud. Okay, so yeah, sir, you can continue. That's what my
The next one is the characteristics of computer. Rashikar, are you going to take it or?
yeah, I'll take it, Sarala.
Okay,
Fine.
thank you.
Okay, yeah. Guys, you understood, right? Like what is cloud, what is the different, what are the different cloud models, and uh, okay, right? So I'll cover this characteristics of cloud computing. So there are not only five, there are many are there. So but I'll tell more important, like five important characteristics of the cloud. So we understood that cloud means we are getting a IT resources over a internet, and we are paying only what we are going to use. Okay, so the character is on demand self service. So as a name itself, it is saying, right? Okay, so what is on demand self service means, whenever we required, so and we are going to use that, and that too on our own, like without intervening, any human intervention is not there, right? Okay, so you think about like ordering a food in online, right? Okay, so in when you go to Zomato and Swiggy application and all, so what you will do, you select what you want. Okay, you don't need to call anyone. I want this, like I want to select, I require these food and all. You will not wait for that. Okay, so it is a similar to that in cloud computing also. you you are getting access to all the computing resources like storage or software, or are you some, like you want to keep your files in the storage. Okay, so are you want to going to use some compute devices, some like servers and all. So whichever you wanted, so whenever you wanted, you are going to use that resources without any without needing any human interaction. Only you require the internet connection to get the access. You got it? So that is what on demand self service, like it is one of the characteristics of the cloud computing. So you don't need to there is no human intervention will be there. So you will be whenever you require, you consume the resources and pay how much you are going to use. Okay, the next one is broad internet access. Okay, so like you are accessing uh, like whenever you are searching any website, right? So like that you required only internet connection, right? The similar to that, in order to access the cloud resources, so you require only internet connection. Okay, so you can be in anywhere. Okay, you just require your own laptop or whatever the devices, you can access the cloud resources using mobile also. Okay, so the only requirement to access the cloud data, whatever the application resources, from the internet only. That is what the broad internet access means. Okay, so the next one is multi-tenancy and resource pooling. Okay, so I'll give one example on this. Okay, what is multi-tenancy and resource pooling means in cloud? Okay, so imagine like you are living in an apartment building. Okay, so where the multiple families are living, but all the families, they are sharing some common resources. Do you know what are there? Like if you are living in an apartment in a layout or something, so they are consuming some common resources.
Lift.
So
Pipeline.
Money.
yeah,
Lift.
that's good
Pipeline.
one thing. Yeah, that is one thing. Like there are more thing is there actually. Like if I can give
Money,
example,
sir, money.
like parking slot, it belongs to everyone, right? In a layout and all. So and a gym
Yes, sir.
facility, yeah, and like and any laundry room is there.
Playgrounds for
Yeah,
children.
playground. Yeah. So yeah, that's what
Terrace, sir, terrace.
yeah, if it is in library also, that is, it is belongs to everyone, right? Okay, so like similar to that in cloud computing, so multiple users will be there. Okay, so multiple customer, like I'm also one of the customer to I want to use cloud. Okay, I will also go and use the cloud. So whatever the resource I want, I'll consume that. So similar to that, like many users will consume the same physical resources. Okay, same physical resources means like in a server, like if you imagine a server is coming with a huge capacity. Okay, so it is coming with 100 CPU, like 1000 GB, more than 1000 GB storage and all. Okay, so that is used by everyone. Okay, so it is a like cloud concept is like that, because you are not going to consume that 1000 GB resources by your own. Okay, you will consume like in that server you will require only 100 GB, so you will require, so that in remaining 900 GB is there. So that in that 900 GB some other people will consume that. That is what the multi-tenancy and resource pooling. Whatever the resource is there in the cloud, so it is like a people are using everyone is going to the same building, but they are consuming different space like storages and servers. That is what multi-tenancy and resource pooling. Okay, so like that's why they are effectively utilizing the IT resources. Like instead of buying your, like if you want to buy one server, it will cost you more than 3 lakh 5 lakh. Okay, so that you don't want to do. So instead of that, there is a one already existing is there, so you will consume whatever is required for that. Okay, so that is what the multi-tenancy. So the coming to the next characteristics, there is a rapid elasticity and scalability. uh, can you tell me what is the difference between elasticity and scalability? Can anyone tell that? What is elasticity and scalability? Am I out or?
I think they might not familiar with the terminologies.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Sir,
but
we know the meaning of only scalability.
Yeah, just whatever it is. Okay, just tell me that. Okay.
Sir, scalability means as per our need, we can extend the size. For example, today I'm using this GB, and later in future, if I want more space, then I can buy according to that. It's mean,
Yes.
I think, scalability. And
Yeah,
elas,
excellent.
I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah. That is what that same whatever the meaning, like meaning itself, it is giving the answer. Okay, elasticity and scalability. Like first, let me tell you that scalability. Whatever you told, that's correct. Okay, so today you are using a computer with 10 CPU. Okay, for your work and all. Okay, you are doing something and your application is running in a server. So and it requires, like now today it is requiring only 10 CPU. Tomorrow there is a more traffic on that server. You have an application, there is a more traffic which is coming to your server. So then the 10 CPUs is not uh, enough for your application to respond all the requests. Okay, so that time what will happen, your system will hang, right? So like at that time what you need to do, like if you are owning your data center, then you need to purchase it from your own, purchase it from the uh, shop, and then you need to set up and do it and all for the next time. So but you want to do like that, that is a traditional way. But in cloud, so there is an option. Okay, so if you want to increase uh, from 10 GB to 100 GB, like 10 CPU to 100 CPU, you can do it in a click. Okay, you don't need to go for a shop and bring the hardware setup and set up everything, then use the application and all. So that is not there. So whenever there is a requirement, so like whenever there is a traffic on your application is become more, immediately you can scale your application, scale your system. Okay, so then the application will respond smoothly without any uh, disturbance. Okay, so that is what scalability. Okay, so now coming to the elasticity. Okay, so like elasticity is opposite of scalability. Okay, there is something like that. Like scalability means, see, suppose you are using only one system. Okay, so one system with 10 CPU. Okay, like you can increase up to what, like you can increase the 100 CPU more CPU and all. Even that system also break means then the entire setup is gone. Okay, you like scalability means you're only increasing the size, but you are not adding additional setup. Like 10 CPU system is there, right? So you have 10 CPU, one system. Okay, so what you are doing, you are simply increasing the capacity of that. Instead of that, you can have one more system with the same similar capacity, 10 CPU. So then what will happen, like if the one system breaks, there is another system will already there. Okay, so you can increase the number of the systems. That is what elastic. Instead of scaling vertically, what you are doing, you are scaling, like you are adding the more resources in a horizontal way. So you have a 10 system and you have one more system with a 10 CPU. Like that, you are adding the system. So then, even if there is a problem in one of the system, so then there are other systems are available. Then you can route the traffic to other system. Okay, so that is what elasticity. So in cloud we can do both, like elasticity and scalability. Okay, so that is what elasticity and scalability. So now coming to the last feature, like is a measured services. So measured service is not it is nothing but, so whatever you are going to consume now, so it will be measured. So they are taking it, like suppose you are going to use a server for 10 hours, so that whatever the measured service means, like you have used that service for 10 hours, so like that they are going to charge back you. So then you need to pay only for that uh, usage. Okay, so that is what measure service. uh, so this is about the 5 characteristics of cloud computing. So you need to remember these things. Okay, so because these are all, like when you ask when somebody asks about what are the futures of cloud computing means, at least you need to tell this. Okay, so it is on demand, like it is on demand self service, and we require only internet connection to access them. So and cloud is a multi tenancy and resource billing, like everyone like one resources is shared by everyone. Okay, so and we have a we can do elasticity and scalability in the cloud, and whatever we are going to use, so that will be measured. Okay, so based on that they are going to charge back. Okay, so any question on this?
No, sir.
Oh, I think you got it right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can go to next slide. So now coming to the advantage of cloud computing. So we are I think Sarala and Sharath, everybody already covered this topic in the earlier session only. So I'm just go through it again. Okay, trade. One first advantage is trade expense, capital expense to for your operational expense. So what do you mean that actually? See, you require an investment for that, like in on-prem data center, like your own data centers, you need to invest large amount. Means if you want to set up a 3 server, okay, so then you require at least 15 lakh amount. Okay, so but in if you are going to use the cloud, so you don't need to spend that amount in setting up the, like purchasing the hardwares, and you are setting up your own data center. Okay, so uh, in cloud, so you don't need to do that. So instead of that, whatever the existing resources which are available over the internet, you can consume that. So whatever you are going to invest that capital amount now, so that amount you can use it for your operational work. So whatever some other task. So so operational means, like you want to uh, build some network connectivity, or you like whatever the task you are going to do now, so for that purpose you are going to use, or you want to hire one guy. Okay, so you are not expert in networking and all, so my data should be more secure and all. So that is an operational task. Okay, so you use that amount for operational work, so you don't need to uh, purchase anything here. Okay, so that is what the meaning of the first one. So the second one is benefits from massive economics of scale. Okay, so this is given by the either like cloud providers only. Okay, so if more customers are coming, means like if everybody is going to use the cloud means, so then what they are going to do is they are going to offer you on a discount, the discounts. Suppose you think like that. Okay, so you want to have one system, so and you want to, what you will tell is I'm going to use this system for 1 year, so have a work for 1 year. Okay, then what you will you will request the customer, you means you request a AWS vendor, a cloud provider. So then they will, okay, so if you are going to use the system for 1 year, so then they will offer some extra discount for you. Instead of like if you are paying, for example, if it is a $100, so then they might give a USD as a discount. Okay. So that is what benefits of massive economics of scale. So, and next one is stop guessing capacity. Okay. Uh, so stop guessing capacity means, like, see, you don't need to see there is, if you like, you will arrange one party. Okay, so we'll arrange one party, and you need to think like how much food we need to prepare for them. Okay, so what you are thinking about that. Okay, so somebody will tell there are 500 people will come, so then we'll make the food only for the 500 people, or somebody will tell 700 people will come. So like that you are going to think. Okay, so but here you don't need to do a thing, nothing. Okay, so today you will start with some capacity like 10 CPU you started with. So like tomorrow there is a more request come, immediately it will increase. Like you can do the setup in a cloud, so that the configuration of your system can be increased uh, elastically or in in a scalable way. Okay, so that is what, because they are clouding. Like, see, tomorrow you will say you require 100 CPU. So then means you simply give the configuration, it will change your system to 100 CPU, and will then if you don't require, then you come back to 10 CPU means. So then that future will be there in the cloud computing. Okay, so you don't need to worry about the capacity requirement and all. The next feature is increase speed and agility. So you know how hard it is to set up the on-prem cloud center, right? Your own data center. It almost requires a 6 months to set up and all. Okay, so you think like that. Okay, so tomorrow you have an idea. Okay, you have one idea. So and you want to build that idea. So for that you require your data centers and all. Okay, so if you like, then for setting the data center it will take 6 months. So then what will happen tomorrow? There one more guy, whatever your idea is there, you already picked that idea and you have introduced that idea in the market. Then what it happens? You lost your business. Okay, so he has used the cloud, and whatever the market is demand, whatever the market demand was there now, so that he has taken and he has come up with his own idea, and he has given that idea to the market, and he gained the business. Okay, so that is what the difference between the data center on-prem data center to cloud. So what it means, like if you are going to use the cloud means, if you have if you have an idea, so and you have you want to build an application, just simply go in cloud and set up your infra, and then build your application and release that to market. Okay, so that is what increase speed and agility. So you don't need to wait for anything to set up. So everything is available in the cloud. You are going to use that setup and do your business. Okay, so stop spending money running on maintaining data centers. So this is already Sharath covered actually. Like, see, if you want to maintain your own data center means it requires a cooling system, power. So many things. Okay, you need to do patching. So many things you need to do. So that is not is there in the cloud. So that is taken care by the cloud providers. Maintenance, cooling, everything is taken in by the cloud. So sixth one is go global in minutes. So this is, see, suppose I will tell you one example of this. Okay, you currently we have a see this Ola, whatever Uber is there, right? So that application is only there in for metro city only. Okay, in like in Bangalore. Okay, it is there. So, now it is there only in the Bangalore. Tomorrow, uh, there is a like all like smart city become. Okay, there are more smart cities now in now in India. Okay, so now the Ola want to introduce their uh, facilities in all the cities. Okay, so then they have to set up, they need to contact the drivers, and they need to allow the cab to go and all. Okay, that has to happen. Okay, so that is expanding their business in all over the city. Okay, similar to that. So in cloud what will happen, like tomorrow you have an application, that application is only for Indian customers. Okay, so tomorrow there is a need for the application to use by the foreign countries. Okay, so then what you do, like if you are setting your application in India, so then the foreign people is trying to reach your application, there is a latency will happen. Latency means the request will take more time, means your system will not be performing as expected. Okay, so for that problem, the what cloud is giving the solution is you can have the same setup in foreign region also. Okay, so you can provide your facility to the foreign people. So that is what go global in minutes. uh, See, this why I'm telling this is like data center means like cloud and data center difference is whatever the servers that we are not going to manage, but it is managed by the cloud providers, but they are placed in somewhere. Okay, the cloud means we are not like it is not the place in sky. Okay, so cloud means like we are not maintaining all those things. It is maintained by someone, but they are physically set up in somewhere. Okay, for example, just give one example. In India, they have set up their own data center in Mumbai region. So in like in US, they have set up their own data center in their in US region. Okay, so that is what go global means. If you want to provide service in foreign countries, then you need to use the region of the USA region data center to set up your application. Okay, so this is what these are all the advantages of cloud computing. You need to remember this one also. Okay, so why you want to use cloud means then you should be able to tell this to someone. Okay, so Sharath, you can go to next slide. Okay, so this is the same. Okay, like I put it in a single slide. Okay, so you have a flexibility. Okay, to whether you can use it or not. That like if you today you are going to use for your work, so tomorrow you don't want that server, so you shut down it and release that. Then you will not get any charges. That is what flexibility. So cost effectiveness means when it is compared to you on your own data centers, the cloud is very cheap. Okay, so suppose like tomorrow I want one laptop, so I need to pay only 10 rupees for that. So will you be able to provide that computer for me from like our own? It is not possible, but cloud is providing that. You can like you just pay 10 rupees, you will get one good system for your work and all. Okay, so that is like cost effectiveness in cloud. And scalability, suppose like so whatever the computer you had, right, you want to increase that size. Okay, so for that you don't need to purchase anything. So there is an option in cloud, so you just change the parameters so that whatever your system, it will be changed to your required configuration. So IO availability and fault tolerance. Okay, this is one good thing actually about the cloud. Okay, so what do you mean by high availability? Can anyone tell that? So what is the meaning of that high availability?
Sir, it is available
Available
20.
for everyone.
Not like that. Not available for not
Sir,
everyone.
it is
Not like
available. Sir, it is available for every time.
yes, yeah, you are very close. That's correct. Okay, so
I
high
think
availability. Yeah,
I think she is referring the pictures actually, which is there actually. That picture tells everything. That's
yeah,
correct.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
High availability means like it is available all the time. See, tomorrow, like AWS has set up on like cloud provider. I will take AWS as an example. Okay, AWS has provided has set up a on its own data center in the Mumbai region. Okay, so tomorrow there might be flood happen, and you are using the server from the Mumbai region. Okay, so the flood happened. Like what will happen? Like power, cooling system, everything disrupted. Okay, so then what you like when you are trying to connect to that server, your system, and you have a important data, means your organization, like you are belong to one of the organization, your organization set up a one application and it is very sensitive. So all will be lost, right? So when the flood will happen and all, and there is a huge custom, like there is a huge business is happening for that. Okay, so when the flood thing happened, your system is gone and your users, whatever the users will log into the server, so they want to purchase something from the application, so it is not going to happen, right? So then you are going to lose the business. So that is the drawback in your on-prem data centers. If you are setting your own data center on your own, and you will be having only one system. But in in cloud, there is an option for IO availability. So what you will do is you will set up the similar application in another region, like similar to Mumbai. Whatever the same application, you will have the uh, similar setup in Hyderabad region. If the Mumbai region is flooded, okay, so and it is not for use, then what you can do is your customer, like your user can user traffic, means whatever the traffic coming for your application, you can transfer it to Hyderabad region. So then still your business is going on. Like I'm just taking the online shopping example. Okay, so then they can easily, even the flood can happen now, so they can easily go to the application and uh, purchase their necessities. So that is what IO availability. So that future is available in cloud. Okay. So now elasticity I already told. Okay, so you can have a similar set of more number. You can increase your system in a horizontal way. Okay, so you today one computer is there. Tomorrow you require 10 computer, means you can set up horizontally. Okay, that is what elasticity. Agility means like you need agility is the market is demanding something. So market is looking for something. Okay, so that you want, that can be bring down, that whatever the market demand is can be bring down using cloud. So that is what meaning of the agility. So these are the problems we can solve by using cloud instead of going with the on-prem data center. Okay, so these things also you need to remember. So from this I'll hand out to Sharath. If you have any question on this, you can ask me now. So
Sir, can you explain again elasticity?
Elasticity, right?
Sir.
Yeah. So elasticity, I will tell that. Okay. So what I'm telling is, you have one computer, right? Okay. You have one system in a cloud. Okay. So what you want to do is, instead of increasing the capacity of the same server, what you can do is you will horizontally means you will set up, you will use one more system with the same configuration. See, right now we have only one system. So tomorrow there is a demand for your application. Okay. So then whatever the your system is there now, that configuration is not able to withstand that request. So what you will do is you will set up one more computer. So then the request, there are 100 requests is coming. Then 50 requests will go to one server. Then another 50 requests will go to another server. So the one server will not have the complete load. So now it is distributed. Okay, tomorrow there is a one more, like 150 request is coming for your server. So what you want to do is, so you don't want to increase the load on your system. So I want to keep my system can take only 50 requests. Okay, so then tomorrow 150 request came. So then what you will do is, instead of 2, you will add one more server. So then like 3 servers will be there. Then 50 will be distributed. So again, what will happen? So there are, like I will take one example of Big Billion Day. So in Big Billion Day, there are more requests will come. Okay, so like you have made the configuration like that in one system, only 50 requests has to go. So tomorrow 200 requests come. So then what we'll do, you'll set up like 4 servers. Okay, so 50 requests will go to each server. Then the system will not have the huge load. Then they will perform smoothly. So then after Big Billion Day, the request will come down. So they will come to only 100 requests. Then whatever the four servers there, right? In that 4 servers, you will shut down 2 servers. Then you will require only 2 servers. So the 50. So then still your business is running smoothly. So that is what elasticity. I think you got it right now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that is the meaning of elasticity.
Agility.
Agility means like it is a speed. Okay. So agility. Uh, See, if you are going to use, like if you are going to set up your own data center, means it will take more time. So I told that, like tomorrow you are like 2 friends are there. Okay, so one friend got one idea. Okay, so what you will do is he's going to set up his own data center to build that application and whatever his idea. So, but before building, so in a similar time, the other friend also will somehow will get the idea. So what he is going to do is you're going to use the cloud. So in cloud, you can set up everything in within a day. Whatever is required within a day or within a 1 week or 2 week, you will do. But in order to set up your own data centers, it will take 6 months. So before your first friend is going to build their application, okay. So the second friend already got that idea and he build that application and he sell that application in the market. Then you will gain the market and you will gain the main money and all. Okay, that is what agility, the speed, like we can increase the speed. Okay, that is the meaning of agility.
Actually, if you carefully see the diagrams, which we put actually logos, what you call, so that logos will tell you everything. So we carefully searched each logo particularly, and we put it here actually. So that agility, the speed meter you were saying, right? So within a fraction of second, you can create the servers or a data center, whatever you want, within a fraction of time.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you need to remember all these keywords, okay, what we are telling for the advantage or the characteristics or the problem. So more or less all the keywords will come here and there every time. It is similar only. So you need to remember these keywords: elasticity, scalability, fault tolerance, high availability, agility. We discuss about the trade capital expense for the operational expense. This is very important. So all this you need to remember going forward. Actually, we used to. I mean, we again no need to explain from the scratch, right? So we started using these keywords eventually. So next, coming to the topic is so these are the types of the cloud computing. Okay, so what are the types of cloud computing? So cloud, we already saw the on-premises, how we set up, right? So what are the net components we required for setting up the on-premises, right? Networking, storage, virtualization, OS, middleware. What is virtualization, OS, middleware? We'll discuss actually. What is runtime, data, and application. So these all are required, and you need to set up each and every component manually, and you need to set up the on-premises. But when it comes to the cloud, so they have categorized in a different way. There's like infrastructure as a service, IaaS, or what we call as a short form, and a platform as a service, PaaS, and a software as a service. Uh, why they have categorized? So they have categorized based on the components which we are going to access for this particular infrastructure as a service, or a platform as a service, or a software as a service. First, I will give you the example for a software as a service. We have discussed our example like Gmail, right? Gmail is one of the uh, component where it is built on cloud, and it acts like a cloud actually. So what in Gmail, what we are doing? So we are not bothering about any of these components. If you just observe it, so we are not bothered about the networking, storage, server, where it has provision, what is the virtualization, what is the runtime, what is the data application, nothing. We are not bothering of anything. We are just bother of the Gmail and what we are sending emails and what we are receiving the emails. That's it. So that we call it as a software as a service, which means you are not maintaining any underlying resources, uh, whatever the resources it is required for building that application, right? Gmail. So we are not bothering. That is as a software as a service. So what could be the other scenario? Software as a service could be the costlier one compared to other one, because you are not maintaining anything. You are not bothering anything, because if something goes wrong, we'll ask the respective provider why it is not working, right? So that's why the software as a service will be a cheaper one compared to the other two. So next will be the infrastructure as a service. What is infrastructure as a service? So example, you are provisioning a server. Okay, we'll discuss what service we are using in the respective cloud provider in AWS and Azure. Example, I will give you AWS as a EC2 instance, what we call in Azure virtual machine. So for creating any server, yeah, we are not bothering about networking. We are not bothering about the storage, server, and virtualization. These all components will be taken care by the respective providers, AWS or Azure or GCP. They will take care of these components. But rest other things we need to take care. What is that operating system? Which operating system you want to host it? And what is the middleware you want to use it? And what is the runtime? What is the data you are storing there? And how you are making a secure of that particular data? And what application you are running? What is the configuration of that application? So all these things will be taken care by us. So white boxes you are seeing, these all are taken care by us. But rest other things will be taken care by the respective cloud provider. So that's we call it as a infrastructure as a service. So infra, with the name only you can identify infra. So we are getting the infra, but rest other things we are taking care. So next is a platform as a service. What does it mean? Platform. So the respective providers are giving the platform. What platform they are giving? They are giving all this platform: runtime, middleware, operating system, virtualization, server, storage, and networking. But only we are bothering about the data and the application what we are hosting, right? So let's say a developer don't want to bother about which operating system they need to run or what is the runtime or middleware. So he need to only bother about the application. Let's say I'm flipkart.com. So only he need to install that flipkart.com in this particular service, and he need to take care only with the flipkart.com. What is that code, everything backend, they will write a code, right, for running that particular application. And what is the data? Let's say they are getting the data every day. User is putting items in a cart, right? And they have a data. So those data and all you need to take care. Rest other things will be taken care by the cloud providers. So same thing for the software as a service, as just we discussed. So we'll discuss more actually. So as we just discussed, right, infrastructure as a service. So it provides the building blocks for the cloud IT, which means they are giving the core items like server, networking, everything. But other things we need to take care, like operating system, data, runtime, everything. And it is a highest level of flexibility. What is the highest level of flexibility? Let's say you want to provision a different operating system, or if you are bothering about the data or the other things, so you have a flexibility here. You can change those parameters here. Few things, if you go to the previous slide, so here you have an option to change these parameters. If you look into the other services, software as a service or a platform as a service, you don't have an option to change the operating system. Let's say example, you are running with a Windows operating system. Tomorrow a developer got changed, or a new employee came and he started working, but he don't know the Windows operating system. They can change the Linux operating system. They can change to RHEL. So similar way, so they have a flexibility to change the parameters here. I'm just giving the high level overview. We'll discuss more into a technicality. And it is like easy parallel with the traditional on-premises. So more or less few parameters similar to the on-premises, because only few parameters are there. Cloud providers, they will set up. Few things we need to set up. So similar to the on-premises, more or less. So that's why it's mentioned as a easy parallel with the traditional on-premises IT. What are the examples? So as I mentioned, Amazon EC2 instance in AWS. One of the service we call it as a EC2. In Azure we call it as a virtual machine, VM. Okay, in GCP again it is a different terminology, instance, and Rackspace again a different terminology, DigitalOcean. These are the cloud providers: GCP, Azure, Rackspace, DigitalOcean, and Linode. So these are the cloud providers. So same thing for the platform as a service. It removes the need for your organization to manage the underlying infrastructure. The what it is telling, the organization no need to manage the underlying infrastructure, whether it is operating system, storage, networking, everything. So only we need to bother about our application and the data what we are hosting in the platform as a service. Focus on the development and management of your application. So which means, so only developer need to take care of their application, improvement of their application. Let's say Flipkart having a new option tomorrow. Within one click, the payment should happen. So that is a new feature which is there in the Flipkart they want to implement. So they need to bother about only that implementation. None other things they need to bother. So that's what it tells here. Focus on the development and management of your application. So only bother about the application. What are the example? Again, Elastic Beanstalk, which is one of the example for the AWS service. We'll see what is the Elastic Beanstalk here. So similar fashion, we have a different services in different cloud providers. Like Google App Engine is one of the service in Google, and Windows Azure is one of the service in Microsoft Azure. So similar fashion. So what is a software as a service? It's a complete product. So you are getting whole product. You are not bothering about the operating system. You are not bothering about the storage, networking, where it is hosted, in which region it is hosted. Nothing. You are not bothering about anything. It is a complete product that is running and then managed by the service provider. That particular, let's say Gmail is managed by the Google. So we are not bothering about anything. So example, Google App Engine, apps like Gmail only, like Dropbox, right? In Zoom, like we are running with these Teams, right? So this Teams also is one of the good example for a software as a service. We are not bothering where this particular meeting we have set up, right? In which server it is set up, in which operating system it is set up, in which region it is set up. We are not bothering. We don't know about it, right? That is as a software as a service. So again, further, we have given the same examples here. Might be today you are not familiar with these terminologies. What is EC2 instance, elastic beanstalk, or a recognition of machine learning. So all these things we will cover in our further classes. That is, so you need to remember what are the three types of cloud computing. These are the three types of cloud computing: as, PaaS, and SaaS, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. Any doubts here?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, great. So we'll discuss. So we have seen many components, right? We have seen the advantage. We have seen what are the problems it overcomes cloud, right? What are the characteristics? What is the advantages, right? So we have seen many things. So when the cloud is started, cloud basically started in the year of 2002, like from the AWS. Amazon is the first cloud providers which they have started their business in the 2002, but they have launched internal purpose, like amazon.com is the right like shopping website. So for shopping website they have started their business as a cloud in the 2002 with the major service like EC2 instance and the S3 bucket. So they eventually increased their business to 2003. Amazon infrastructure is one of the core strength idea to the market. So have released that internal idea to the external world in 2003. And in 2004 they have launched their first service publicly, that is called SQS. What is SQS? It is a queuing service, simple queuing service. Some same similar fashion like SMS. We have SMS like I think in olden days we used to send the messages in normal message. Now we have WhatsApp majorly using. So similar fashion in 2004 they have started as a SQS service. In 2006 they have launched the more service, which are the core service I can say today in today's world also, that is EC2 instance, S3 and SQS. What is S3? It is a storage service. It is a server. EC2 instance is a server. They have launched in 2006, and in 2007 they have launched in Europe also. So eventually they started expanding their business, and now they have a very big customers. Like example, Netflix is one of the big venture where they utilize AWS cloud, or a NASA, or a Dropbox, or a Airburn, right? So there are many more companies where AWS they are using it. So coming to the market capture of the particular clouds, we discuss about many clouds, right? IBM, someone said, or Oracle, or Google, Microsoft, AWS, right? Where are they placed in the market actually? So this is one of the chart given by the Gartner chart. Actually, we call it as a Gartner chart. There is a link here. You can go to that particular link. You will get the results of every year, which are what market leaders in the market, right? In for the cloud. So this is the data of 2002. I have given 2002 data because now in June or July they are going to release a new data, but we need to have some data, right? So I have referred the old data. So if you see the this chart carefully, so Amazon AWS web service will be in the top actually. From the day one, still Amazon is leading the market. Okay, but if you see carefully, Microsoft, which is started recently, like I can say 10 years back, but Microsoft is also capturing a very big market compared to the Amazon. So these are the two big players in our cloud environment, and even Google also. So depend upon different use cases, people will start using the clouds. Example, machine learning or AI kind of things, people will go using Google instead of Amazon or Microsoft. Let's say there is a few other services, right? Like Windows is a operating system released from the Microsoft, right? So Windows always will be from the Microsoft, but of course you will get the Windows operating system in Amazon and Google. And the Amazon EC2 instance, like EC2 instance we just saw, right? EC2 and S3 bucket. So they are the two big services in Amazon. So if you see the market capital, 80 billion in annual revenue and almost 23 billion in opening profit. So Amazon is capturing almost 23 billion what profit. So in 2002, Amazon has passed around $80 billion, and Microsoft Intelligence, so they have a 75 billions. But there is a only few dollars. What difference is there? Only like I can say $5,000, $5 billion. Okay, but in Microsoft they have other services also. They have a Microsoft public and private and hybrid services. Like we have a this Teams, right? The Teams is from Microsoft, and Windows operating system is from Microsoft. So there are n number of other products also they have included in this particular amount, and they have shown the difference actually. But still AWS is one of the leading market, but Microsoft also one of the second leading. So it is always good to learn Amazon, Microsoft, and Google. Um, so we will segregate the batches based on Amazon and who want to learn Microsoft, and we'll start classes separately for them. But again, I will tell you, I will give you 100% guarantee that there is no much difference in any cloud, right? It's all the difference of the user interface. You might use the Amazon shopping website, right? Or the Flipkart shopping website, or Meesho, or any n number of applications are there. You might know only the difference is user interface. Sometimes they have given the option at the top for adding the items, or some other application has given in the bottom, or the payment method might be a different. Only those things are different, but end of the day, the whole concept how it is working, you need to book the item, and it will take 3 to 4 days, and it will deliver. And it has the option for cash and delivery, it has offers, it has a big billion a day, right? So similar fashion, all the clouds will be works on similar fashion architecture, I'm telling. So architecture remains same, only the user interface and the terminologies. Sometimes they call it as a EC2, sometimes Microsoft we call it as a virtual machine. So only the terminals are different. Only eventually you start exploring, you will come to know all three clouds are similar only or same. So you need to learn all the three clouds. That is good to know actually. So they have a more than 10,000 active users for the Amazon. As I mentioned, there are multiple big ventures. They are using the services. So definitely they might have a very big users for the particular Amazon website, right? And they have mentioned also they have 12th time consecutive leaders in the this particular chart. Okay, for the cloud infrastructure and the platform as a service, Amazon. So what are the use case actually where we can use the cloud? We already discussed so many examples, right? Like a example, food service, like Zomato or the Swiggy, they need to host their application, right? Or let's say shopping websites, Amazon, Flipkart, Meesho, right? So there are many, or the Uber, Ola, right? So all these things where they are hosted, they are hosting in the cloud now, right? Even a Netflix or the LinkedIn or Facebook, you are using all this uh, you are all using this particular websites, right? They all are hosted in the cloud. What is that? AWS. Even they might have what hosted in the Microsoft also. I just shown for the AWS now here. So the further where we can use, we can use in the enterprise IT, right? They might have a different, like now AI is a new booming technology, but you want to host that particular this thing, right? Example, Chat GPT. They need to host somewhere, right? They need to host in the cloud. So now they are moving to cloud. Everything is hosting on the cloud. And example, backup and storage. So if you want to take a backup, so you need to keep in the storage device. For example, if you want to see the movies, all those things, right? So you need to keep in the hardware and you need to keep very safely. If something goes down, everything will go crash. But instead of that, corporate started using the taking a backups or storage in the cloud. So everything other underlying resource will be taken care by the cloud. We are not bothering about, okay, this data got lost. So we'll ask Amazon why this data got lost, right? So we'll ask only that data. We are not bothered about the underlying resource. So that's our advantage. That's why we are using the cloud. And big data analytics. So like big data is one of the, now the data is very increasing, right? Huge data is generating every year. So that data where they need to keep and analyze those data using the cloud service. They use the service and they analyze those data. And web hostings and mobile and social apps. So many social apps are right. Facebook, Instagram, and the gaming application. Now the gaming is also one of the biggest market currently. So they are hosting all their gaming application in the cloud because it will give so many advantage. It will rapidly increase within a second. It will elasticity. It will increase the what it can increase the number of servers. You can do the scalability and you can save the traditional cost and the maintenance cost. All those things you can save those costs. So that's where the use case becoming more day to day for the clouds. So these are the, like, just giving a number. Actually, again, it is a 2002 data. This data keep on increasing as the business expands, right? So Netflix, if you see $19 million, which is very huge dollars actually. So someone can say tomorrow artificial intelligence coming, machine learning is coming, so cloud will go at the corner. No, there is a very, very big market you can see here. They are top spending. They can't suddenly switch to any other things, right? It will take a years of time to switch anything. So that's why. So it is a very confident to learn AWS cloud also or the Microsoft. So there are the core thing which is global infrastructure regions we just discussed, right? Availability zones, all these things we will discuss in our next class. So from this, we started our core recipe. What I can tell. So these are only just a basics where we have covered what is a terminologies which is frequently required in our further classes. So anybody have any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. So we will just recap what today we learned. Okay. Once again, we just discuss what is cloud computing. It has a pay as you go model. Okay. Which means what you pay, only you need to pay that particular amount. And there are many services like storage, database, application, right, for the cloud computing. And there are different deployment model, what you call deployment model. This is an important keyword, deployment model. When you ask deployment model, it is private, public, and hybrid. So private is something you need to host all the setup in your private environment. So public is something where everyone come and everyone use their facility and they will give the charges for that particular service. And hybrid is kind of a mix of public and private. So they have given a very good example here, bus, car, and taxi example, where it is a public, private, and hybrid. So similar fashion, we have an example for private cloud, where corporate, it is a corporate building here, right? So similar fashion, we have a hybrid cloud also, where it is a mix of public and private. So next is the characteristics. So these are very important characteristics, I can say. So where you need to remember all these characteristics. Like on-demand, broad network, multi-tenancy, resource pooling, rapid elasticity, scalability, and measure service. So we will share this PPT. So I urge everyone to go through this PPT and try to remember all the keywords what we have used, right? It's not about only remembering the keywords. Try to understand what is this with good examples Rashekar and Sarala has explained, right? On-demand, self-service. And you can, with the logos, you can correlate what we are mentioning here. Network, broad network, there is a network connection here. Resource pooling, same resource everyone is using here. And elasticity increasing here. Scalability, right? Measured service. So there are very beautiful logos also we have put it here to understand easily. So try to understand all the keywords here. Advantage, what is advantage? These are the advantage, 6 advantage. Go in a global in a minute. So just remember, go in a global. Okay, stop spending and maintaining the data center. Speed, agility. So these are the keywords. Stop spending the guessing the capacity. Benefits for the macroeconomic scale. And what is the next? So similar, what are the discussed characteristics and advantage? Both things will eliminate those problems. Flexibility. Cloud has a flexibility, and it has a very cheap servers where you can adopt within a fraction of second, which means again the speed is coming into the picture within a fraction of second, and you can increase or decrease the servers anytime. And high availability, always it will be high available. Even some a cyclone or earthquake comes, but still your server will up and running. That is high available. And we saw the types of cloud computing as PaaS and SaaS, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. So this history and all not required. Definitely no need to remember years and all, nothing. And even the company names or the budget, whatever saying, these all are not required. For the interest purpose, we have given the facts actually. Even the Netflix, whether it is Netflix or Facebook, whatever it is using, it is immaterial for us. But what use case it has, it is very, very important for us. Use case, it is where are these particular clouds are using. We require these clouds are using in a different use cases or different areas, right? So we need to remember these things. So we'll start explaining what is region, what is availability zone, data center in our further classes. Any doubts, guys, till now? Okay. Before winding up this class, I urge everyone to come on video from the next class. Okay, you make a setup earlier, and the second thing is join early as soon as possible. 10 minutes early, everyone should join in this class so that we will start